Hello everyone! Following the topic of my previous video, in this one I'm gonna address the following question. Does damage split from the 3-star gold destruction buff makes your Fu takes additional damage? Additional like damage that goes over the damage that should be taken. This time I have script, so it should be less chaotic. Before we start, I did a lot of testing, a lot of math, which is not my good side. I'm not good at it at all. So if you enjoyed this video, please leave me a like. I'll really appreciate it. I did a lot of math. I did a lot of fucking testing. Like, it was few hours. More than few hours. Like this video. Please. And and if I made any major mistakes, and you can actually give us some time and explain it in the comments below, please do. I will make sure to pin this comment so it can help us all. Thank you very much. And one more thing. Under my previous video, I got a few comments about me speaking too slow and video taking too long to reach the conclusion. So for those people who don't have time, here's your answer. It's no. It does not. It works properly. You are free to go whatever you want. And for those who have either time, having meal, sitting on the toilet, or somehow reacting to this video, let's get started with it, baby. So, like I said, buff works properly in this case, and your Fu is not taking any additional damage that shouldn't be there. It works. Okay, like, I know it's weird, but it works. But there may be some reasons, maybe there may be a reason why you may feel like it doesn't work. And also, it also includes the teams without Fu Xuan, but I will later explain it, so don't worry, we'll get it. Give us a second. I love that thing. So first we have to understand how Fu's ability works. What you can read. Activate Matrix of Presence. Persistent. Prescience. Never mind. Activate Matrix, via which other team members will distribute 65% of the damage they receive, and before this damage is mitigated by any shield, to Fu Xuan for 3 turns. Important part of this here is the distribution. It tells us that the damage distribution occurs before the defense or damage reduction calculations, and the damage that was already distributed cannot be distributed again, and this is very important, which means Fu Xuan cannot once again distribute the damage that was distributed via the golden buff. Distributed damage can only be distributed, like, if damage is distributed, you are not moving this. It stays the way it is right now. Remember this once again, this is very important. And this means that she takes 65% of the damage value, stat check it with her own defense value, then gets damage. That's how Fu Xuan will work. And then we have the golden buff, aka regression inequality of annihilation. I already managed to like read it properly. Holy shit. Which reads, when player characters are hit, damage taken by the character is equally distributed amongst all allies. And the very important note here is, this blessing has priority over Fu Xuan matrix and does not distribute the dot. Like, the dot part is addition. And also I omitted the part in Fu Xuan ability that she also increases HP and crit, but it's not important. We care about the damage. Okay, so now what we know with those information is that if we combine golden damage split, I'll be calling this like this because I'm not gonna say the entire name, with Fu Xuan matrix, the order will be like, this may be different. That's what I think it is. Damage speed calculates the damage value, so the golden buff. Then stat check it against the target defense value. Distribute the damage value to all characters. Then Fu Xuan takes 65% of the value. that was not distributed, stat check it with her own defense, and takes the rest of the damage. If it sounds complicated, like it took me like a little bit to understand it properly, especially the Xuan part, don't worry, I will explain later for each case. Each case of damage, I mean AoE and single. So now, I have a few examples of how this damage is calculated in both scenarios, like I said, for AoE and single target, and with and without the matrix. The damage values for this one were taken from the same enemy, same attack, while all characters had the same defense value. It will be not exactly the same, because like every single character on the max will have a different value of their defense. Even the preservation characters have some slight differences. And in this case, it was around, if I'm not mistaken, base was 700, and after all like the micro buffs, it was 800. Lynx was, if I'm not mistaken, a little bit higher. There was like a 20 defense difference between her and Xuan, but they were all around 80. They were like 800 to 830. So it's not that big of a value. Sorry once again. I also made a lot of I also did test a lot of different attacks for the defense values with the normal team, with all the light cones and relics. But this is not that important. Like I think this is enough. But if there's something I omit and we actually need the explanation also for the defense part, let me know, we will do it. I have it all prepared, so it just takes me to bring it up into one place and count it. So, let's move on. Let's start with the AoE attack for no matrix. It is very simple in this case. All allies took almost the same amount of damage, and here will be the numbers: 391, 385, 388, 390. As you can see, and it was Jinglu, Lynx, Fuofo, and Xuan. As you can see, Lynx took the least amount of damage because her defense was the highest. But still, it's not that big of a difference. It's a very slight difference, so we can definitely work with it. Don't worry. And like, let's be honest, it's way too hard to have them all on the same amount of defense value. Like, be a human, please. Okay. And if we combine all of those, it gives us the number of 1,554. That's our maximum damage taken from this attack. And if we take the same attack while the dome, aka the matrix, is active, it will give us those numbers. Once again, Jinglu, Lynx, Fuofo, Xuan. 327, 327, 322, 325, 580, which, if we bring them all together, gives us 1,554 damage, which is exactly the same. The only difference is that Xuan took part of the damage from the other characters. So, for AoE attacks, it's very simple, nothing special. And so, as we can guess, all characters took the same damage. So if we run a full team, because so we have to remember that in the case of 4 allies, it's 25, 25, 25, 25. If you run 2 allies, it's 50, 50. So all of those numbers are for full team, where split is divided into 4. But I think like usually we run full team, so well, why am I even explaining this? Never mind. So if we run a full team, 75% of the damage taken was split with the golden split. The rest will go like the golden split, and the rest of this damage will go under Xuan 65% distribution. So the AoE damage comes in, 75% of this amount will go to each of those allies. The rest will stay because this does not take all the damage. Like 25 damage still stays from the attack. We have to remember this. 75 is the one that goes around from each character to each other. It's like in the end it's the same, but we still have to count it in. And then like those 25 from each character is then mitigated by another 65% of Xuan, and that's the damage that Xuan takes. So next. And once again, this gives us the same total damage in both cases. So yeah, everything is fine here. So how it works in the case of single target attack? If Xuan is the one getting attacked, only the golden split procs, because Matrix only works for the allies. So if the Xuan is the one being attacked, the damage is completely the same for each character. Like there's no Matrix. Once again, Matrix only works for allies. It doesn't split the damage for Xuan herself. But in case of her allies being attacked, it's also not really that different. How it works? We have first gold damage split activates, very similar. Then stat check the difference. Then apply the damage to all allies. Then the rest of the damage goes to a single target ally, the one ally that's being attacked. Then Fu takes 65% of this value and takes it to herself. And the max damage value from all the damages stays the same. Another example, without Matrix, Jinglu got attacked and gives us those numbers. 273 for Jinglu, 269, 271, 273, which gives us 1086 max damage. As you can see, if Matrix is not active, the damage will almost always be the same. The way it's distributed, of course, like it will be different because your characters have different defense, but yeah, the damage stays the same. The only thing that changed this damage is the defense value. And with the same attack with Matrix being on, Jinglu got attacked once again, and the damage is 96, 269, 273, and 450, which gives us once again 1088 max damage. Conclusion: damage split works just fine with Fu. The reason why you think she takes more damage is because she actually does take more damage. Like we just forgetting that the rest of our team is taking less of it. That's it. That's why she dies faster, because there's more damage she takes. Simple, right? But yeah, like if we are fighting a lot and she's the only one taking bigger amount of damage, we can like we usually will forget that our character or other characters are actually getting more. I mean, getting less damage. But this doesn't mean the buff works perfectly. As you may remember from the previous video, beside the issues I pointed there about this buff not working with other buffs, there's also another issue you may have missed. Although I'm not sure about this, so once again, if someone knows or can confirm or can tell me that I'm actually wrong, please do it. Do it. So if we run this buff with the normal team, we will exclude Fu from this to make it simpler. Let's say the normal team that you will run, well, it includes a DPS, an enchanter, healer, and a tank. Okay, And each of those roles more or less have a specific path, like harmony and are usually enchanters, abundance are usually healers, preservation are usually tanks. We have to remember that each of those paths have a different taunt value, which is the chance for this specific unit to be attacked. For erudition it's 75, for hand it's 75, for abundance is 100, for harmony is 100, for nihility is 100, for destruction is 125, and for preservation is 150. So with the team I said above, the DPS, support, enhancer, and tank, let's say that your tank have around 60% chance to get attacked, while your DPS have around 35. Like, those numbers are not correct, those are more or less just to make a point. So since usually your tank is getting attacked and you're used to it, he will take way less damage because of the way he works, of the way his path works, because he have more damage, more stats, more defensive stats. He will take overall less damage. But after you include the golden buff, all of your characters will have the damage, will take the damage. And then you have to understand that it's no longer your Giga Jeopard with 3000 defense taking no damage. It's your Jeopard with 3000 damage taking 3000 defense taking no damage. Your Natasha with 1k tanking well, more or less half of the damage. Your support with the same amount of defense taking more or less half of the damage, and your DPS taking 90% of this damage. So it may ended up in your team like longer on a longer period of time taking more damage, because it's no longer focused on the Jeopard that was negating a big amount of this damage. Now it's for everyone, unless you are running like a full team with the same amount of value, like 4 distraction or whatever you run. This was only to make a point that in some cases it might actually ended up in you taking more damage, like your entire team. But that's it. Like I said, I am not sure about this, so if someone can confirm or make a proper statement, please do. I think that's all for this video. Once again, if you enjoyed it, please leave a like, it means a lot. I spend a lot of time on this, I cannot speak English. Thank you for watching. Till the next time, I hope you have a wonderful day. Don't take this buff ever again unless you are playing Blade, and have fun, I guess. See you next time.